Hi, I'm Spencer Johnson, and today I'm going to be speaking about Edward Thorndike. Edward Thorndike started off his career in psychology in 1896 in the field of comparative psychology, studying animal behavior and learning. During this time, Charles Darwin's theory of evolution had a significant effect on how people thought about animal intelligence. The theory of learning was that learning was about the association of ideas. A psychologist at the time who believed this would have been called an associationist. Here is how the theory worked. Imagine a cat seeing a person opening a door with their hand by pressing down on a door handle. The same cat, when trying to leave the same room, jumps and pulls at the door handle. An associationist would consider the cat of having learned about the association of how pulling down the door handle would open the door, and the association of how they could use their paws on the door like a person using their hand. Many comparative psychologists at the time were ascribing this level of insight and reasoning to animal actions. Much of the study used anecdotal observations of behavior. Thorndike did not think one visible behavior implied an animal had some form of reasoning skills. Thorndike was an associationist, but much more rigorous in his study. Instead of using only anecdotal observations, Thorndike took experimental measurements of animal intelligence by testing animals at solving puzzle boxes and observing their behavior. The studies were simple. A small animal, a cat for example, would be placed in a cage with food visible outside it. The cat, attempting to escape the cage, would have to perform some particular behavior, usually pulling on a string with a ring or pressing on a lever that would unlock the door of the cage. Thorndike would measure how long it took the cat to perform the behavior and escape the cage, while also taking observations of how the cat's behavior changed as a subject to the same test again at later times. An animal's first time in the puzzle box would frequently be spent trying to cram and fit through any hole possible until finally, possibly randomly, causing the right behavior to open the door and escape. As Thorndike put the animal through the same puzzle box multiple times, the animal's time to escape would get shorter and shorter, spending less time and energy trying to squeeze out of the box. When Thorndike graphed the attempts and their times, there was a clear downward trend showing the animal was learning and exhibiting a consistent behavior in response to the stimulus of being in the box. Unfortunately, this learning curve did not have a significant drop. This would suggest the animal did not experience a sudden insight in how to solve the box. What Thorndike saw was the cat's behavior response to the stimulus of being in the puzzle box changed as the cat was rewarded with food when escaping. This idea would become Thorndike's law of effect. Reward to its response in a situation encourages the response, and punishment to a response in a situation would discourage the response. Thorndike later retested his law of effect and, based on his results, revised it, saying that rewards encouraged response to stimulus, but punishment did not equally discourage response to stimulus. As the cat went through the experiment multiple times, its response to the situation became strengthened. This is Thorndike's law of exercise. With this experimental measurement approach to his studies, Thorndike kicked off a revolution in the psychology of learning. His work helped to start the study of behavior in a measurable way and introduced animal studies to test psychology theories. He would later go on to study more in depth on adult learning, developing more principles of behavior along the way.